Hello, dear colleagues. The existing interrelation of the parameters of the development system, which ensures the standard of reserves ready for excavation in open pit, determines, with a change in productivity for a mineral, a change in stripping ratios. Most studies aimed at establishing the impact of open pit productivity on the economic indicators of development. The existing relationship between the development and mining operations in open pit is considered only on the basis of the condition that a change in the angle of slope of the working side of open pit leads to a change in the current strip ratios. This does not take into account the need to ensure the standard volume of reserves ready for extraction. It is known that as the production capacity of open pit increases and its lifetime decreases, with the same reserves, the specific semi-fixed cost change, which means that the cost of ore mining also changes. Therefore, it is necessary to investigate the change in the cost of ore mining and the production of final marketable products, taking into account changes in stripping ratios with an increase in ore productivity. Therefore, the goal and idea of research were set. The creation of normal working condition for an open pit for various ore productivity options within the maximum possible value is possible by changing the weight of the working platform, which ensures the standard of reserves ready for excavation. At the same time, an increase in the weight of working platforms lead to a decrease in the number of working benches within the deposit and accordingly to a change in the length of the mining front, both in ore horizons and overburden, which largely determines the distance of transporting the rock mass in the open pit. With an increase in the weight of the working platform, the transportation distance increase both on ore horizons and on overburden. This is due to the fact that with an increase in the weight of the working platform, the ore front is concentrated on a smaller number of ledges in the lower part of the open pit. At the same time, the overburden front of mining operation increases due to an increase in the number of underlying overburden ledges. For conditions close to the mining and processing plants of Krivbas, we analyzed the impact of open pit productivity on the cost of production of final commercial products. The conducted studies allow to establish the degree of influence of various costs on the production cost of the concentrate with a change in the productivity of the open pit for ore. From sheets 3 and 4, it can be seen that the specific semi-fixed costs for ore extraction line 1 are the same in both the first and second periods of the open pit operation and decrease with an increase of productivity. In the first period of open pit operation, with an increase in ore productivity due to an increase in the transportation distance and stripping ratios, the specific conditionally variable costs for ore extraction increase. It's line 4. However, in the second period, due to a decrease in stripping ratios, the specific conditionally variable cost for ore mining, an increase in productivity slightly decrease. Line 4 here. Sheet 5 shows the change in the cost of concentrate production from the productivity of the open pit for ore for the first line, and the second line is the second period of work. It can be seen from the figures that with an increase in ore productivity, the cost of ore mining as well as the cost of concentrate production decrease. However, the cost cannot fully characterize the increase in production for which development is being carried out. The main purpose of the enterprise is to make a profit. Therefore, it is more rational to solve the problem of determining the optimal productivity of open pit based on the profit from the sale of commercial products of the mining and processing plant. When changing the productivity of open pit for ore, it is necessary to take into account the change in the slope angle of the working side of the open pit due to changes in the parameters of the development system, which ensure the standard of reserves ready for excavation in the open pit. This leads to a change in the strip ratios and the range of transportation of rock mass. These calculations are made for a certain variant of the development of mining operation in a quarry and only indicate the presence of optimal productivity. The results of the calculation are presented here. From the graphs of the function k as a function of productivity here, and operational cost as a function of productivity, it can be seen that the given total capital and operating costs increase with an increase in the production capacity of the open pit. The curve P as function of productivity here is which characterize the change in the reduced profit depending on the productivity of the open pit, shows that the maximum possible productivity of the open pit for minerals ensures the maximum economic efficiency of the development of the deposit in the chosen direction of the deepening of the open pit. In this case, the maximum profit is provided with a productivity of 12 million meter cubic per year. A decrease in productivity for minerals by 20 and 40 entails a decrease in profit from the development of the deposit by 10 and 20% respectively. Slide 7 shows the influence of the slope angle of the working side of the open pit on the reduced profit from the development of the deposit when the standard of reserves ready for excavation is provided in the open pit. It can be seen from the graph that an increase in the slope angle of the working side significantly reduce the economic efficiency of field development. This is explained by the fact that the operation of open pit with a large slope angle of the working side entails a decrease in productivity not only for waste rocks but also for ore, which reduce the present value of marketable products due to an increase in the development period of the deposit. So, an increase in the slope angle of the working side significantly reduces the economic efficiency of the development of the deposit due to the fact that the operation of open pit with a large angle of slope entails not only a decrease in the current overburden ratios as a result of change into mining mode, but also a decrease in ore productivity, which reduces the present value of marketable products due to an increase in the period of the development of the field. Thank you for your attention.